we're live. I think we are. Dan, check we live.
Doesn't look like we're live.
Twitch.
Refresh?
Yes, I can't refresh because I have like 30 tabs open. Actually,
We're doing it live.
are we?
Yeah.
It's
A
live?
bit far behind. There's me just looking confused at the moment.
We are always confused, so it doesn't really matter what you.
Oh, I'm too tall for that. There we go. Alright, sorry.
So it looks good. The quality looks good. Yeah, the quality always looks good. I don't
I
know
don't know.
what.
I'm gonna put it in like
You can't
half
put it
8,
in.
12.
Dan, shut up. Right. So first of all, let me just
No
make
one
sure.
here. Wait for people.
Well, no, because this is also going on our channel, so we're just gonna talk.
I wanna talk to people.
You can talk to people. So, guys, this is our
Hey,
podcast. We do apologize for not having our weekly up. Uh,
people.
Sunday or weekly day because
Was a bad day
no, I
in
was
the
sick.
world of.
I was sick, and you can probably still see I need a haircut. I'm sick. Dan's still weird. No one likes him.
My foot was like everywhere. Yeah.
All right, so Dan, what are we going to be talking about in this week's weekly for the Elder Scrolls Online weekly news? That is weekly. That we do weekly. Even though it's not
Uh,
weekly because it's on a Tuesday, probably released on a Wednesday.
Yeah, what he said, although this wasn't out when we were going to make the weekly, screw it, because it's out now and we're making the weekly now. It's the Ask Us Anything that they just released, which we were blatantly waiting for, because we knew it was happening. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, so they've released a lot. Basically, what happened to like last week? We covered morphing, and morphing. If you typed in Elder Scrolls Online morphing guide or anything on Google, ours is the first link to come up. So, our question to Zenimax is, why did it take us to make the video first, and then you guys go make a 20,000 times better video, and then get all the views? Just putting it out there. But all of
And
their stuff,
we could have used that information beforehand. It took us forever to
exactly. So
find that
this is
stuff.
like morphing
Just
part
like...
3.
No, this is Ask Us Anything Weekly Banana Sandwich.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, what's our hot topics going to be? Okay, we can discuss that later.
We'll work on that.
Alright, so the first question is, will it be
Where's this
possible
people
will it be
here?
possible to reset your skills and
Hello?
redistribute them if you made a mistake or want to completely revamp your character? And I'm so happy for this because I've heard some rumors that you weren't able to do it in the beta. But Dan, answer it.
Yes.
No, Dan, answer it properly.
Oh, okay. Yes, you'll be able to reallocate attribute and skill points. To do so, you'll need to visit a shrine and pay a fee in gold. You could, however, just decide to start taking your character in a different direction, and you'll likely garner all the points you need to do so as you progress.
I think they mean gather.
Garner.
Why would they go to Ghana to reset their skill points?
I'm sorry, but that's why I got stuck. It's gar and
G
then
A
ner.
R N E R. Okay, I don't even care. So let's talk about this for a bit. Resetting skill points has always been a major thing in an MMO. Let's say if you wanted to go tank in World of Warcraft,
Honk.
you want then halfway through to go, oh no, I want to be DPS. I'm bad at tanking or tanking's boring. Well, then you were
Oh,
able to
you're a
just
noob.
go. Shut up. Then you're able to just go to your trainer and reset it, reallocate your skill points, and that was it. With the Elder Scrolls, there's you can basically spec into everything, but while you're leveling up, well, not spec into everything, you know what I mean. While you're
You could.
leveling, well, yeah, but it'll take a long time, dude. Think about it. 50
Oh.
levels, all the sky shards. Just don't even get. If I start thinking about it, I'm gonna get sick
Okay,
again.
move on.
Now that you're able to reset them and reallocate them for a fee of gold, which we now know is obviously the main currency in Elder Scrolls, but everyone knew that.
Gold. Sorry.
Now that you're able to reset it, it just makes it a lot easier. As you can see on the screen, if you were to go Dragonite and you were to spec into Stonefist, what if you didn't want to spec into Stonefist and you wanted to go into Draconic Power and you wanted
I
to
don't
go
know,
into that?
please. Tell me.
Maybe you just wanted to go into that. Now it just kind of shows that you can, and it's actually one of a really nice feature that they've added. Do you think they like? Do you think they should have added it, or do you think they should add anything, Dan?
I think it's a good idea, but obviously you've got to be careful with the fact that they might make it too cheap or something like that, and it might be too free. Like you might just be going, "Oh, this mission I need to do more damage, so I'm just going to go respec really quickly," and then like you might
Yeah,
just be changing up too
exactly.
much. Might be too much. People will be wasting time,
Yeah,
and
because one thing that I hated, remember in WoW where you had to like you'd pay 1 gold to reset your talents, then it would go to 10 gold, then it would go to 50 gold, then it would go to 100 gold, and you're like, hang on, I only made one mistake. Do you reckon in the Elder Scrolls it'll be just something like 10 gold, nothing really major, or do you reckon it'll scale to the level? Let's say you're level 50 and you want to reset all your skills. Do you
I
reckon?
think it should either be scale to level or like let's say the amount of times per day. So like obviously like you're saying, it goes like 1 gold, then 5 gold, and so on, and then it just gets starts to get ridiculous. I think if they did it like uh, a reasonable price if you did it once in a day, then it
Yeah.
goes up a second time, and then if
Oh,
you want to
so it's
change
like
like
kind of like a
it,
daily.
yeah, because I mean you might understand like okay I made a mistake, I'll just wait and change it tomorrow because it's only one thing. But if people just keep changing it willy nilly, it's just gonna get out of hand.
Yeah. So Driller12356, thanks for joining the Stratic stream. Remember, guys, we are live.
Woo!
We are going to be live doing these. He wants to know, is it going to be subscription based? And yeah, it's going to be subscription based at 15.99 a month. Am I correct or am I wrong?
That's in
That's in
dollars.
dollars. But you'll
So
also
in
get a
pounds,
base.
it's about nine,
Yeah, and
I think.
it's about €12 if the economy's still normal.
Um,
But
yeah, I'm gonna just get that for you. Keep talking.
you also get a I think it's 30 days free when you buy the base game, which is $50. So you buy the game based, like the box, etc. And yep, you get 30 days free with that just to test it out to see if you bought the game because it's good. It is good.
Ugh.
And yeah, and then you're able to sign up for a subscription. I think they're doing like 3 months, 6 months, and then 12 months, or you can just do monthly. That's what most MMOs really go for these
I'll
days. So
probably buy the second month and then just
uh
buy everything.
no, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna obviously get the first month, play it, and then
Yeah.
get the 12-month subscription because I'm rich and I love that.
Huzzah! Richimus Maximus over
You
there.
don't like?
Anyway,
All
next
right, all
question.
right. So in order to the next question, sorry, is in order to morph an ability, more morphing questions. Thanks, Cinemax. In order to morph an ability, do you have
Cinematics.
to earn enough XP in that given ability, or are there any other requirements? Dan, we've talked about this twice, so why don't you take it away again for the third time's the charm?
Abilities will morph when you reach a certain level with them. Morphing does require you to spend a skill point, though, so there is a cost associated with it.
Sorry, I was playing with my
Wrong
little
side.
character.
Oh, you're playing with your character. I thought you were trying to poke me.
So abilities will morph
My
when.
minion. Where is he? Come on. This is behind. I can't see him.
You got him. You got him.
Oh, no. Tap on the
Leave him alone. Leave
head.
baby Dan alone. All right. So it does require you to spend a skill point, though there is a cost associated with it. So what does this mean, Dan?
It's just going to cost a skill point when you want to do it.
I
Like, you
know.
can unlock it, but then you've got to go find 3 sky shards or level up or do something interesting.
Get it and then use it. I think that's kind of interesting because I personally don't want everyone to be able to morph abilities straight away because you'll have like healing fireballs with summon minions and blow up everywhere. I want it to be hard. I want it to be award.
Sorry.
I want it to be awarding for a morph.
Awarding. Rewarding.
I'm Irish. I can say it.
Fine.
Um, I want it to be rewarding when you summon a when a sorcerer summons his what was the name of it? Weird little dinosaur pet thingy that we did last week.
Ah, don't know.
The Dakara. And then be able to have that like shoot fireballs. I don't know as an example, and then you being the only one to have that. Whereas if everyone had that, then it wouldn't be really unique, would it?
Well, it doesn't look like there's that many different types of morphing.
You know what I
So
mean. I was
someone's
only
gonna
giving
have it.
example.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. You're not gonna be the only one. Right,
Really
moving on because
nice.
Chris is getting delusional here and
I
thinks he's
always get
allowed to play
delusional.
the game.
Right. So the next question is: if you are leveling a new armor or weapon skill line, will it take you longer, or will it do less damage? Oh no, will it take more or do less damage?
That's a good question.
But
No,
it's
trying out
written
something
weird.
new won't put you at a disadvantage. You can attack and defend normally, just like with weapons or armor you were using before. You'll still want to unlock the active and passive abilities in the skill line, though, so it will take some time before you access to all the benefits. So obviously, the base weapon damage that you'll gain from the weapons will be the same, but the abilities you'll gain through passives and its active abilities will make it, well, better than using it as a baseline weapon.
Yeah, so they're saying, uh, it's not going to be an issue if you want to be a sorcerer who's always been using light armor, but then suddenly wants to use heavy armor. It's
It
not
just
going to.
means you won't have the pros to it that you
Yeah,
would with the light armor.
as you know, there is passives with each armor ability. We've gone over this in other videos, so you can go check them
Yeah,
out.
it just means that you're not gonna suck when you first try and start using it. You're just gonna have to try and play a bit differently. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that I'd preferably like is when, let's say, you're mixing up two bits of armor, that you'll still be able to get your armor bonuses and level up, let's say, um, your, let's say you're using heavy and you've gotten all the passives to that, and then you want to level up some light armor. Well, if you wear some heavy with that, that'll keep you with the passives and use the light armor as well. Let's say like a light chest. You still level up the light as well, so it kind of helps that to the extent that it is, if that makes sense.
Anywho,
Anyway, I was rambling there. And the last
question
question is, can a skill
numero,
level be
not the last
higher
second.
than... Oh, sorry, it looks like the
I
last in
snuck in
this.
another one.
Oh,
Sorry.
can a skill level be higher than my character's level, or are they linked? And the answer...
Pures! Woo! Yes, the skill line can and likely will be higher.
So what's a pure, Dan? For those of you that aren't hardcore MMO old school gamers, what's a pure, Dan?
Basically, in a certain game which may have taken over our lives for a certain period of time at a certain age called RuneScape, um, it had the same thing. It had lots and lots of skill lines which affected your overall level, which meant that you could go into a certain skill line and be like level 40 in it. So let's say ranged, but only be level 10. So at level 10, if all you did was use range, it would be incredibly powerful,
Yeah,
but you wouldn't be versatile in any way, shape, or form, but you would purely just
own
poon
up
from
at
range.
you'd own up
Yeah.
at range, but if someone touched you, you'd die. And now that's one problem. Do you reckon that will be implemented into the Elder Scrolls? The same concept as you've just described there, as in if someone decides to spec into like I don't know range and doesn't care about their armor, doesn't go in and get hit to level up their light armor. Do you
No, I
reckon?
don't think this will be a problem due to the fact they've said here to do with base damage.
Yeah,
So this will kind of mean that all it will mean is that you just have the option of a lot more range abilities,
yeah.
but it means you won't be a very versatile character. It will kind of balance out in the sense that, well, yeah, like you said, you'll be stuck with that, whereas other characters could go, you know what, I'm going to use my spells, but if you come near me, I can hit you with my sword. Whereas if you just wound with swords, you got
Yeah.
to be close to them all times.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. You want to kind of have everything as everywhere. And
But if it
oh, go
wasn't
on.
just base damage based on level of that skill, then it could be overpowered. But I think that's where they've got around it by saying that the skill level doesn't technically increase the damage of using that weapon.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So the last question, the most important question, the
Is it?
question you've been running from all your life. Doctor Who fans will get that. From the video, it looks like crafting is part of the overall skill system. Is it still true that we can master only two professions? And this is new and exciting news, sort of.
We
So
kind of overlooked it, but
yeah,
previously we've mentioned that they implemented a system to the sense of they didn't confirm this, but what they were saying is that they would give you X amount of points, let's say 100 as a maximum achievable amounts point for crafting, not they give you at the start, and it might take say 70 of those points or 70% of those points to max out a certain crafting profession. So you would either be able to max out one and be half decent at another, or spread them between the six or so and be quite good at them all. But now what they've said is no, you can master all the trade skills with one character if you choose so. However, that is a significant time and skill point investment. Sorry, and you'll be ignoring other parts of your character. We discussed having a trade skill maximum, like I've just spoken to you about there,
yeah.
but people create secondary characters to get around this limitation anyway, so we felt it's just worth it to not limit your freedom.
Yeah, so basically you can craft. as much as you want, but it will basically uh, restrict you. Let's say if you want to spend everything into a crafting, it'll restrict your other character's skill points that they'll go into. Am I correct in saying that, I'm guessing?
No, I think what it's saying is that your trade skill will still require skill points such as your weapon skills would, but if you wanted to level that up a lot, it would mean that you wouldn't be gaining anything in your weapon skills and such. So to level them out at the start and do all of them, I'm not sure if this is true. Let's say you were able to level up through this, your character literally wouldn't be able to do very well in combat because it wouldn't have any other skills,
Yeah,
any combat skills.
what game? Oh, Guild Wars, where you could level up through professions, and then your character would level up, but you wouldn't really have everything else leveled up. You wouldn't have the skills
Well, the
unlocked.
thing was, you would still have no, because you didn't have to spend skill points in that. So you could level up through crafting in that,
Yeah,
gain skill points to then spend in your weapons,
yeah,
and you would still be able to then go, okay, well, using the armor I crafted and the skills that I gained through leveling while crafting, I can still go into combat and do well. Whereas in this, if you were putting all your skill points in crafting to get it higher and higher and higher, if you then went to go into combat, you wouldn't have any combat skills.
yeah. And that's one of the main things for an MMO, I suppose, in my opinion, that you need to
So that
learn your class. I don't like people going in and not knowing their class.
your
And there is a question of the week. I forgot to tell you this.
is
It's
there?
if you could create an ability, what would it be? This can be used for spells, weapons, etc. All right. Before we do anything, Dan's gonna know mine. In Oblivion, I created a spell that was the radius in it was so big it took over the entire map. All I should do was shoot a spell into the sky, and it unlocked every door in the game. Basically, I got picklocking like the spell, and I put the radius huge because I glitched it. I bugged it out where I had loads of gold, so I could do it anyway. And I just unlocked all the doors. So every time the door was locked, I was like, "Oh, hang on," and the whole sky would light up. I want to see those kind of things that affect the environment, like environmental effects. What about you, Dan?
I'd want the ability to turn someone into a cabbage. Like a CC where you just transform them into a cabbage.
That's kind of viable, actually. Could you imagine that? Quickly, turn him into a cabbage. He's not watered.
But then you could use it against your allies to kind of like hide them. So you could go, oh no, he's gonna get seen
Dad,
by the enemy.
can you
Cabbage.
imagine this? Can you imagine this? All right, guys, we're gonna ambush him. Here's the plan. Chris is gonna turn you all into cabbages, and you just turn them in, and like they walk over the cabbage patch, and they all pop out.
Can you imagine that? They go in to like take over a keep and they're just like,
There's like
there's
six
nothing here but
cabbages,
cabbages. Cabbages, attack!
and then the cabbages kind of like morph into like big
And then
warriors.
yeah, and then they just all get ganked by like
Oh,
killer cabbages.
that's that is the guild name, Killer Cabbage.
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
SpartanJesters, but okay, whatever.
okay,
Fudge.
whatever then.
Yes.
All right, so do we want to add anything else? Does anyone have any questions before we do call this live stream? Because it is just a weekly. And we will be doing our hot topics on a question asked in the comments of our video on the YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube,
Yes.
please leave a comment below.
Like, subscribe, and
Subscribe my nizzle.
donate cabbage. Cabbage is always good.
Oh, I don't like cabbage anymore.
Well, I like any food, so cabbage. Anyway,
Anyway,
thanks.
thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the hot topics. Make sure to go follow the stream below, which is twitch.tv slash
Follow me
Stratix.
down here. These ones. These ones. I'm waiting for it.
Bear.
No, it's like down there.
Our own personal channel is youtube.com/SpartanJesters, and as always, thanks for watching.
Bye bye.